What if every single good deed you did literally made the world around you brighter? Well, today we're jumping into a story called Kindness is Light, and it's this wonderful little tale with a huge message about how even the smallest acts of kindness can light up everything.
So, let's set the scene. Our story kicks off in this village, Whispering Pines. It was a place that used to believe that good deeds actually made the world brighter. But you know how it is. Life got busy, people got a little more wrapped up in their own stuff, they kind of forgot about kindness. And while the sun still came up every day, something else faded. A kind of shadow fell over the whole village's spirit.
But this is where things start to change. Meet our hero, a super curious 10-year-old girl named Lina. One afternoon, she's out exploring near this old, forgotten well, and she spots something glinting in the moss. It's a rusty old lantern. But as she gets closer, she realizes it's not just rusty. It's got this faint shimmer to it, almost like it's breathing. And when she reaches out and her fingers touch the cool metal, it starts to glow. So of course, Lina rushes home and shows the lantern to her grandmother, who totally gets it right away. She looks at it and says, "Ah, the lantern of kindness. It shines when someone's heart is warm and generous." She explains that it's not oil that keeps it lit, but something way more valuable, generosity. Lina's a little confused until her grandmother points out that her own small acts, like sharing her berries, are what made the lantern glow in the first place.
This just clicks for Lina. It's like a light bulb moment. Literally. She looks at the lantern's gentle glow and realizes she actually has the power to make it stronger. And right then and there, she makes this quiet, firm promise to herself. She is going to make this light shine as bright as it can possibly be.
And just like that, Lina's on a mission. This next part is all about small deeds and big light. This is where we see her put that promise into action and really test out this amazing connection between kindness and the lantern's glow. And wow, she does not waste any time. The very next day, she sees an old woman struggling with heavy water buckets and helps her out. Boom, the lantern glows a little brighter. She uses her own string to fix another kid's broken kite. Yep, the light gets a little warmer in her hands. She even stops to comfort a scared puppy whining by the bakery, and the lantern just flickers like a tiny, brilliant star. Every little deed is like adding another drop of fuel to the flame.
Well, it's not every day you see a little girl walking around with a magical, glowing lantern, right? So yeah, people start to notice. The villagers get curious. Some are even a little skeptical. They keep asking her, what kind of magic is that? And her answer is so simple but so powerful. It's really the heart of this whole story. She just says no magic, just kindness.
Okay, but you know, every good story needs a test, right? A real challenge for the hero. And for Lina and her lantern, that test is about to arrive in the form of a massive storm. This is a beacon in the storm.
I want you to picture this. A massive storm just barrels into the valley. The wind is howling, whipping the trees back and forth, and this torrential rain just starts hammering the village. It's one of those big, scary storms that comes out of nowhere.
And this isn't just any storm. It's so fierce that, poof, every single lantern in the village goes out. One by one, they're just snuffed out by the wind and the rain, plunging Whispering Pines into this deep, total darkness. Everyone's stuck in their homes, completely isolated.
And in this total, suffocating darkness, there's a real problem. Lina's pressing her face against her window, and she sees him, a little boy from the village, Milo. He's trapped on the far side of the rickety wooden bridge, totally frozen with fear. In the pitch black, there's just no way he can cross safely.
So what does Lina do? Does she hesitate? Not for a second. She grabs her lantern of kindness, and now, after being fueled by all those good deeds, it's not just glowing anymore. In this moment, when it's needed the most, it just explodes with light, blazing like this incredible beacon against the storm.
Holding that brilliant light high, Lina runs out into the storm. She calls out to Milo, her voice cutting through the wind, and her lantern cutting a clear path through the darkness. Guided by her voice and that steady, unwavering light, Milo scrambles across the bridge to safety. And you can bet the whole village is watching from their windows, totally stunned as this one small light defies the entire storm.
That brave act, that wasn't just about saving one little boy. Oh no, it was the spark that was about to relight the entire community. Welcome to A Village Relit. The very next morning, everyone's gathered in the town square, just buzzing about what they saw. The mayor steps forward, and he says something that just changes the entire mood of the village. He declares, "If one girl can light the darkness, imagine what we all can do." And this wasn't just some nice speech, you know? It actually worked. A real transformation started to happen. People began sharing what they had. They started helping their neighbors without even being asked. They really took the time to listen to each other, offering encouragement. Kindness sort of became the new normal in Whispering Pines.
So, what do you think happened to the lantern with all this kindness flowing around? It was astonishing. It wasn't just Lina's little light anymore. Fueled by the collective goodwill of everyone, it shone so brightly that it lit up the entire village square every single night. It was this constant, glowing reminder of what they were building together.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most beautiful part of the story. The lantern's job was done. It was time for everyone to learn the real lesson here. Kindness is the light. So one evening, Lina goes to the square to see the lantern, and it's gone. Vanished. In the spot where it always stood, there was just nothing. And for a second, your heart kind of sinks, right? But then she sees it. The lantern had left something behind, a tiny rolled-up note. And this note, it said everything. The message was simple. Kindness no longer needs a lantern when it lives in everyone. You see, the lantern was just a tool. It was a catalyst. Its only job was to remind people of the light they already had inside them. And now that they remembered, it wasn't needed anymore. Lina looked around and she got it. She smiled. Whispering Pines was bright again. I mean, really bright. That dimness that had settled over the village was completely gone. Not because of some magical object, but because the people themselves had finally become the light, just by remembering how to care for one another.
You see, the story reminds us that kindness isn't some external, magical force. It's internal. It's a light that every single one of us carries. The lantern was just a reminder. And that really just leaves one big question for all of us, doesn't it? How are you going to light up your world?